Hey guys, Martinkin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to do the team building guide for the Super Saiyan Blue KAIOKEN Goku EZA that is coming out on Global later tonight. It's part of part 2 of the anniversary. I will be live on the channel to do these EZAs. They come out at 1 AM in the UK. I'll be going live about an hour before that so we can get set up. So if you do have any further questions following on from this guide, obviously feel free to come along to the stream. I'll be answering questions and doing some other fun stuff like viewer challenge runs or whatever until the EZAs actually drop. So yeah, maybe I'll see you at the stream. So Blue KAIOKEN Goku is a standard 30 stage EZA. So he gets 60% damage reduction against super class units, which goes up to 70% and physical once you get to stage 13, and then 80% and int and physical when you get to stage 20. So from stage 20 onwards, you basically only want to be using extreme AGL, tech, and STR units, right? You can use extreme int and physical, or you can use like super of any typing if you're using them primarily to be defensive units, but obviously they're not going to be doing much damage to him. So that is something you have to bear in mind when putting the team together. So standard 30 stages. When you beat all 30 stages, you get all the medals, you get 30 stones. If you want to go further than stage 30, then obviously you just get a Hercule statue, so you can get extra Zenny. You will get all the medals to EZA KAIOKEN Goku, some red orbs, or STR orbs I should say, 11 of the Grand Kais, so you can get him to SA 15 and have some left over, which is always pretty cool. 30 stones from the stages, and then there are missions. Beat the stages within a certain time, beat stage 20 with an accelerated battle character, so you'll get 4 in total from the missions, so 34 stones in total. So I think both the EZAs put together it's like 67 stones or something, so nice little bump up in stones for the part 2 banners that are coming out in a few days time. Now, as you can tell, obviously from the mission, and you may have noticed from the start up here, the specialized category is accelerated battle. So this is the category. It's not the biggest category in the world, and especially when you consider a lot of the super type units are kind of going to be closed out from this one. It's going to be a little bit more interesting. I think your options are a little bit more limited than in some of the other EZAs. But as always with my team building guides, I'm going to go through my top picks and honorable mentions. If there are any units you think I missed out or that I should have talked more about, do let me know down below in the comment section. And if you do find the guide useful at all, do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So let us go ahead and jump straight in. Okay, so the best choice for the leader, probably just for overall ability to bring multiple different units on the category team, is going to be the Hit and God Goku LR, because they have accelerated battle as their leader skill. Now, obviously, there are ways to build teams that are not technically an accelerated battle team, right? It's not part of the unit, your leader's leader skill, but all the units will be on that category. And there probably are a couple of options that honestly are better than running this Hit and God Goku, because you're not going to be running a lot of units that are going to link up super well with this unit. But, you know, if you just want to run any units, maybe your accelerated battle box is a little bit like spread and you don't have specific units that would all fit into another different category, obviously running the actual leader for the category is going to be a good way to go. There is, of course, this Goku as well, the other accelerated battle. These are the only 2 straight up accelerated battle leaders. And of course, this guy is both super and physical, so he's just not going to be doing any damage in the later phases. But if you don't have any other option for a leader, then this guy obviously can sort of stand in as a last resort. Now, looking at some of the other units, a really good pick will be the AGL Cell. When it comes to Android / Cell Saga or Power Absorption, you absolutely can make a full team of units that are on accelerated battle. Cell obviously has type advantage as well, so he's going to be a very, very good unit for this EZA. Even if you're not using him as a leader, he will be a very strong unit. And then, of course, if you are running him as the lead, any androids characters you bring, you are going to be getting the full 200% leader skill boost from him as well, which then, of course, will make the EZA a lot easier overall, because everyone's going to be doing more damage, defending better. So I think this guy might probably be the best choice for the lead, actually, when you consider all the units that will fit on his team. So this guy definitely is a go-to unit for this EZA. Now, alongside him, we have the Int LR Cell. Now, I mentioned this guy because his leader skill, obviously all the cell units are on here. So you could use him as a leader if you don't have the AGL one and then run the AGL one as a friend. Now, he is Int, which means he's going to be suffering from that damage debuff later on. However, his defense is very good, and in EZAs where you can't heal, his ability to give you a full heal if you drop to 40% or less and then transform, which remember has no turn restriction. So if you're finding the later stages a bit more difficult, like you could get hit by a super on turn 1, drop below 40% HP, and then this guy's on turn 2, and then boom, you get a full heal and he transforms straight away. So he's not going to be doing damage, but he's going to be good defensively, can be a free full heal, which can come in clutch sometimes. So if you're going to run a lot of cell units, this guy definitely can be very good to include on the team, right? Then we have this cell, World Tournament character, supports extreme class allies. So even if you're not running all cells, this guy can be pretty good. Supports everyone on the team, has big bad bosses. So just an overall solid support unit. Probably not going to be tanking supers near the end very well, but he will be solid for the team. He does greatly raise defense on super, so... then next up we have this physical metal cooler. Now again, just like the Int Cell, this guy is physical, so he's suffering from the damage reduction. He's not going to be there to do damage, right? The reason why I would recommend using this guy is he has the Wicked Bloodline 200% leader skill, and he has a revival as well. So now you have to be careful because he could just get blasted straight away by a super and die, and then you revive, and then you didn't really get much out of the revive other than avoiding dying. But it can be very tactical to use this, right? So if you're like in a situation, if you're running a Wicked Bloodline team, you could run units like the Golden Freezers, like the AGLTUR or the LR, who aren't on accelerated battle, so they won't be doing a lot of damage and potentially would take a lot of damage back. But the Golden Freezers have so much damage reduction, especially like the TUR AGL one, right, that has 90% at all times, as long as you're above the HP threshold. You know, those units can all fit in very nicely. And then this guy, you could try and get him to avoid as many attacks as possible, and then if you do get into a situation where your HP is low, then you can put him in front of all the attacks on that turn, or as many as possible. He then gets killed, and then you revive with full HP. So this guy can be very good as the leader and as a tactical revive and heal. But just be aware, like I said, he's not really going to be doing any damage because of the 80% reduction from stage 20 onwards. Of course, a good replacement for him, because they share the same name, is the AGL Metal Cooler. Now, he leads Wicked Bloodline as well, 4 key and 170. So, I guess it depends, right? Because this guy gives a higher leader skill and has the revival. This guy gives more key and has the type advantage. So, he also has the giant form, which can be super useful. So really, in terms of just one-for-one who's the best in the event, I probably would maybe lean towards AGL Metal Cooler more, but remember the physical one has a higher leader skill percentage, so that could help out, and has the revive. So there's pros and cons for both. I think it will come down to, like, who do you have the most investment and stuff, right? Like, if you have physical Metal Cooler at, like, 55%, but you have this guy, Rainbow, then you're probably going to want to use this guy, right? And he leads Wicked Bloodline as well, so you can make a full Wicked Bloodline team. You can get the transformation, which of course not only is giving you free damage, but with the way giant forms work in the game, it will negate a super. If he supers you during the giant transformation, it means on the turn you come out of the transformation, he can't super you. So that's obviously very, very good. And then, of course, we do have the Int Metal Cooler Army. They're in the same boat, right, with the damage reduction, but they can be a good stand-in lead, 4 key and 120 to all extreme class, so you can make a very mixed accelerated battle team that doesn't have to fit under one other category, and they do support artificial life forms, so if you're running other androids or metal coolers, then obviously they support them as well with 3 key and 30% defense. So even though they're not going to do a lot of damage, they could be good on the team as a support unit or as a stand-in leader. They also share a lot of links with the other metal cooler units, so they can be useful for that as well, because of course there are the free-to-play metal cooler units, So again, considering the int and the physical ones are going to be nerfed for damage, and the physical one's main advantage is that he heals based on the damage he does, that makes him kind of useless. But the AGL, the tech, and the STR one would all be useful in this event as well. So you could make pretty much the full free-to-play Metal Cooler team, and it would still be quite useful in this event. And then you can just fill the gaps with the other two that you can't really use in this one with somebody else. Obviously, if you're running like a Wicked Bloodline team specifically as well, there's other units like freezers that can fit in there. The AGL one does also have an accelerated battle lead as free to play as well, by the way, so that could be handy. But units like this guy. So this guy, not going to be doing any damage, but he guards, gives support to all allies, and has damage reduction when there's a Goku family enemy, which obviously there is. So because he's not going to be doing damage, he'll just be on the team to be a support unit, but he's guarding and has damage reduction. So if you were running, let's say, AGL or LR Metal Cooler, then the free-to-play Metal Coolers, then this guy would fit on the team perfectly as another free-to-play option, giving everybody support and having that damage reduction so that he kind of keeps himself safe as well. So he's a solid option to pick as well. Then we have the category page here. I don't know why that's ended up there, but let's move that back to the beginning. So we have the AGL Rose. AGL Rose, bit of an older unit, got his EZA quite some time ago, but he's got type advantage. He greatly raises defense on super. He gives all extreme class allies 3 key and 30% attack. And he builds up defense with each hit he takes. A little bit of a more outdated one, but EZAs are not particularly difficult content, so this guy can be very, very good on the team. He does have an extreme class lead, but it is quite low, so I guess if you don't have this guy, if you don't have a better choice for the lead, you could use him. Although if you don't have him, obviously the STR one, yeah, should be on the category as well. Despite not having type advantage, he does have the higher leader skill, but you are required to bring a unit of each typing. And he has the finishing blow mechanic, which is useless in an EZA, right? Because if you get the finishing blow, you've already won. So probably not that useful. But Rose, the AGL one, could be decent for the team if you're running short on accelerated battle characters. He's probably more of an honourable mention than anything else. Next up, we have Tech Janemba. Now, Tech Janemba, actually, very top choice for a pick here. He also does have the lead for Extreme Class 3 key and 130 as a sub-leader skill, so he could make a decent stand-in leader as well. He has guard, he gives allies key and then defense if you get 4 type orbs. He also has damage reduction if you get 2 rainbow orbs, and he raises defense for 1 turn on super. So if you do get all of his orbs, because he has guard as well, after super attacking, he tanks incredibly well while providing a lot of support. You're probably never going to want to transform with him. I don't think anyone ever does with Tech Janemba, but his base, he is actually pretty good. Good support unit, good defensively, so he'll be a solid option for the team as well. Then we have the Tech Transforming Freezer, just a solid unit, does decent damage, has decent defense, heals at the start of the turn, so just another solid unit that can fit into that Wicked Bloodline build. Or he has Extreme Class 130 leader skill, so he's another honourable mention for a backup leader as well. Then we have this guy. Now, he's int, so he's not going to do damage, but if you are running freezer units, he's a sworn enemies buff. Unfortunately, metal coolers don't fit into that. And the more supers he does, the more defense he gets. So even though he's not doing damage, he can tank reasonably well. And because of his links, if you have this guy next to somebody like the Tech Transforming Freezer, then obviously the Tech Transforming Freezer is going to be able to go off and potentially do, you know, a lot more damage. So this guy could be useful, more of an honourable mention, more of a final like 6th slot pick if you don't have anyone else, and only really if you are running a bunch of sworn enemies units, right? And then we have the LR Great Ape Vegeta. There is also the AGL TUR one, but this guy can be good because you are fighting a Goku, so he does get his entrance animation and therefore his full buff. He has guard. If he gets hit in slot 1, he gets a big attack buff. So he actually can be pretty solid, very free to get his 18 key super. The only downside, of course, is he's not really on, you know, the category leads that we've looked at outside of just being on accelerated battle, right? So he is good, but doesn't necessarily fit on a lot of the teams we talked about unless you are just straight up running accelerated battle as a leader skill. Now, there's a couple of super units I wanted to mention that could be good. Bear in mind, they're not going to do damage because they're super types, but this guy, still very, very good defensive unit. He does have artificial life forms and then accelerated battle as a leader skill as well. So if you're running a lot of cell units, or even some of the metal coolers, this guy gives them a 200% leader skill. So he actually could be a decent leader option. Definitely going to be better than like the physical Goku, right? If you're really lacking on an extreme leader. So this guy as a leader could actually be a very good choice. He's very good defensively. He's just not really going to do damage. And I thought it'd be worth maybe mentioning this guy because obviously he runs on the same team, 200%. Activates most of Gamma 1's links, has type advantage, so it's not like he's going to be in massive danger of getting killed. But again, he just isn't going to do a lot of damage because even though he's AGL, he is a super type, so obviously not great. But if you're running Gamma 1 and you have Gamma 2, that's a good way to power up Gamma 1 a little bit. Damage-wise, neither of them are going to do much, but defensively they will be pretty good. And then, of course, there's God Goku, the tech one here I've highlighted more so than the others, because against Pure Saiyans, obviously, he's just not really going to take any damage. So he's not going to do damage, but he's not really going to take any damage. Now, if we go back to Accelerated Battle, obviously we have the physical God Goku and the Int God Goku. Neither of them are going to be great choices because of the damage, but they do have Pure Saiyan and Hybrid Saiyan leader skills. So for units like Vegeta, that would be pretty cool. But unfortunately, nobody else really fits into there, right? Like if you could use super types, look how many, like we have these AGL LRs, we have Carnival Goku. Like some of these units would be really good, but unfortunately super units do get a major nerf. So Janemba would be pretty good as well, especially linked up with the tech one, but he's physical, so again, not going to do damage, but he'd be there to be more of a defensive unit. So let me know what you guys think. This one definitely a little bit more restricted. I could see people struggling with this one maybe a little bit more because of how small the category is, but if you do have the right units, I think it could be quite straightforward. I mean, there are a lot of free-to-play options, like I mentioned, right? You can basically run the full free-to-play Metal Cooler team with the Battlefield LR as the leader, and then throw in some other free-to-play, like Wicked Bloodline characters. So you definitely could make a full free-to-play team that could beat this event. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Like I said at the beginning, if there's any units you think I missed out or should have talked more about, let me know down below, and then let me know what team build you are going to be using for the Blue Kaioken Goku Extreme Z battle, and hopefully I will see you guys at the stream later as we go through the event as soon as it releases. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.